Strong fundamentals in the oil seed production is very good. World population is growing up, getting older. They're growing. They're getting bigger. We need more oil. People want they're health conscious. They want healthy food. Income levels, increased high-value food consumption in developing countries. With the value of crude oil at 90 cents to $1 makes a lot. $90 to $100 makes a lot of difference also. So the biofuels are ready to come back maybe and take a look at. We do have some mandates. We have some, Europe especially has a 10% renewable mandate. All their fuel has to have at least 10% in it. U.S. renewable fuel standard of 1 billion gallons by 2012. We're going to have to hurry to get there, but it's a mandate. The government hasn't changed that mandate yet. Production in the southern Great Plains of canola. This is about where we are right now, in this area right here. We thought by maybe 2012, 2013, we'd be to 100,000 acres. This was put together about 4 years ago. We've bypassed 100,000 acres already, so we've gone over 100,000 acres. If you compare this to North Dakota, when they started production in canola in North Dakota, they went from about 35,000 acres, and 7 or 8 years after that, they were 1 million acres. So we're sort of on that path. And understanding North Dakota, they knew what canola was because they had it right across the border from them. They had the genetics already. We didn't have any of that. When we started, we didn't have the genetics here. So OSU and the seed companies have done well on that to do that. But we are ahead of schedule on that part of it right there. To consider what the value, if you want to do something, the value, the green line and the orange line is the wheat. That's the value over production cost. That's how much more value canola has in it. Like right here, we're talking 30 cents, someplace in there. And the little deal I'll show you here a little bit later, it shows that 30, 40 cents difference in it at today's values. But it looks to me, in my mind, oil value should be higher than wheat all down the road. But understand, if wheat would get up to the same value, the rotational value is still worth it. It's still worth it to do that because it helps your ground considerably in the state of Oklahoma. We price our canola based on soybean meal and soybean oil. So what we're showing here is canola futures are in that color and soybean in the green. And you can see how they've pretty well cloned each other the last few years. That's probably going to happen because of the value of oil is based on value of oil. I mean, that's what it is. So it's probably going to stay pretty close to it. Value of the meal is good. Soybean meal is good. The canola meal is also good, very good meal. Works in the dairy industry very well. So the markets there, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico are deficit meal. So it's a reason to have a good market for the meal side. Producer economics. Winter canola has similar profits to or better than wheat, depending on the year. But generally in the last 3 years, it's always been better, about 30, 40 to 50% better. Delivery points have and will continue to be established in the production areas. Research and grower experience is a big deal. When you start growing canola, you don't do quite as good as you do 3, 4 years down the road. It's a crop that takes a lot of expertise, a lot of experience to grow it. And the longer you grow it, the better off you get. Seed bed's excellent, very mellow seed bed, and the markets have been established for producers, local markets. So you have local markets now. The summary of what you're going to do, and if you take a look, spray weeds early. Canola doesn't compete well with grasses and stuff like that. It comes up in that cotyledon stage, and if there's any grass or anything out there, it will not compete well. So Roundup Ready canola, when it comes out of the ground, it can take a Roundup spraying on. So you can spray it right away. Remember crop rotation value? That's the big thing, a big concern. Plan ahead for canola. It's not something you all of a sudden in September you decide to go out there and plant it. It's something you want to make sure you plan ahead and get that all done. Timing in canola is very important for spraying, for watching for bugs. More management than wheat. It takes more management. It's not something you drive down the road and look at. What you got to do is get out and walk through the fields. Inspect fields for insects. You don't walk to the edge of the field and look over the fence. You get in the field and walk across it. Be committed to it. It may take the first year, you may not be real successful, and you may be. But if you aren't successful that first year, find out why. It takes a couple, 3 years to really become proficient. And then find a mentor or an agronomist that you can trust. Some of your neighbor farmer, what you want to do, somebody you've met at these meetings, whatever it might be. That's the important part, is find somebody that you can trust to listen to. Don't listen to us guys all the time. Listen to who your neighbors are in your land and stuff like that. The oak canola project, and they may have talked about that this morning, but that was put in place in early 2000s when they started working on that, and it's a good information. The oak canola website we went to, it has all that, lots of information on it for you. So that's real important. It's been a big, important part of that. We have the Great Plains Canola Association, which is a producer organization that you can belong to. You belong to that. If you're a canola producer, it'd be great too. You also belong to the U.S. Canola Association. You get a lot of information back from both organizations on that. What we've been working on, we've worked on the Oilseed Commission. I'll talk about that in a minute. We work with insurance coverages for canola, Oklahoma and Kansas, and then the expansion of canola acres. That's what we've been doing in the PAT this last year. And it's been very, very successful. That's one reason we're growing acres here, I think, because we're out helping people on a daily basis. Oklahoma Oilseed Commission has been established. The Board of Commissioners has been voted on, and they're in place now. The checkoff is 0.5% of the value. What that means is if you have 1,800 pounds and the price is 16.4 cents a pound, that value would be $1.48 per acre that you put into the Oilseed Commission for research and demonstration plots. We're going to get about $40,000 this year is what we're going to end up getting. They've already committed $20-some thousand of that to we have 10 demonstration plots throughout the state that have not been, we have counties that we've never been in before. It's working on blackleg research. It's a disease of the roots. And then they have one working on late season insects. We had some trouble in late season insects trying to control them last 2 years. Especially down south, we had more problem down there controlling them.